The 2014 Nulon Nationals are proudly brought to you by Nulon. Hi everybody and welcome to this special Blendline TV production, bringing you all the action from the Nulon Nationals. We're here at the third round at Cootamundra Airport for the runway sprint. This one ties it all together and brings the championship to a close, so there's definitely a lot to be played for. Before we have a look at some of the stuff that's happening here today behind me, why don't we go back and have a look at the highlights from the first round, the hill climb up north of Newcastle. Round one of the Nulon Nationals saw competitors head to Bulahdelah, just north of Newcastle, to compete in the 1,240 metre hill climb. Throughout the day, the biggest talking point was the weather, with heavy rain and sun shining alternating throughout the events. Eventually, Phil Heathy took overall victory with a 32.08 second time in his Evo 6.5. That assisted the Evolution Australia team to take a slender championship lead into the second round of the season. To get an idea of the changeable conditions on the day and what the course looks like, take an onboard ride with Paul McKinnon in the World Time Attack Prepared Evo.
Yeah, we're down here at the Nulon Nationals. We're representing Pulse Racing, but we're also in the Nulon team. We got kicked out of the Evo team because the car was a little bit fast, which is kind of a good thing, a good problem to have. And then as it turned out, the Evo didn't quite make it here. That's sort of with time attack cars, they're a little bit unreliable, and we cracked a block in the lead up to it. So So we bought this. We bought my road car down, which is a reasonably modified Subaru BRZ. It's making probably slightly more than double factory horsepower, turbocharged, but all engineered, street registered. It's a good, really good fun car. So we're having a ball, a little bit slippery out there, but yeah, it's good fun. Basically, we've been using Nulon products for years. And when they basically come to us and said, we're going to run this sort of 3-round series, I thought, that's fantastic. Like, we get some customers to come along, you know, they can have a ball and obviously represent, one, our company, but also to just enjoy a good, fun track day with other sort of car enthusiasts. It's a really great, good, feel-good event. You know, there's lots of other workshops, we're all mingling and chatting, and it's just really good, fun atmosphere. The best this car's run so far is a 108, and we had a few brake issues doing that. So we're going to try and get it in the 107s because it was 108.0. So if we can get it in the 107s, we'll be reasonably happy with that. Basically, I've brought my team down, like so there's 5 of us, 5 guys here, which is good. It makes a good fun atmosphere. We had some drinks last night and a bit of fun. But yeah, but the Nulon team, I think there's about 8 cars in total. So, and all varied cars too. Like it's ranging from Evos to BRZs, and I think there's some drift cars in there as well, which is good fun. But yeah, just basically want to say thank you for Nulon for putting the event on. It's just such an awesome event, and the fact that they're wanting to support the community and things like that, it really shows how involved they are in the community, and it's marvellous. So really enjoy it, and you know, we sort of love representing them, but obviously love representing to our customers and what they do with it.
I just love the concept. Chris and I spoke at the start of the year back in January, and he told me his idea of running a 3-round national Nulon series with 3 different style of events, and I just loved it. So it just made sense for me to get involved. Wakefield, it's my home base, and I've been doing this for 31 years now, racing cars, and been making a living from it for the last 17. And I've had my business down here for the last 3 years. And I run 60 to 70 days a year, so you know, quite often you'll see people that might only do a couple of track days a year. So for me, I've got a great team, and today it ran like clockwork, even though we had a couple of mishaps and we lost a little bit of time with oil downs, but we got a lot of new people here, and that's the whole idea of it. It's not just having regular track people, not having regular workshops, but getting forum-based people. So, you know, for Nulon, I think they're getting right into the heart of their target market. Chris and I, you know, we've been sending emails and having phone calls over the last 6 months to each other, and just for me, it was just getting all of the groupings right, organising the groups, making sure the right people are in the right groups, having some form of structure. And for the Nulon team, you know, they just wanted to, you know, pay for everybody to be here, not just the track, but they paid for accommodation. They just wanted to see everybody having a great time. So then we just threw ideas at each other. So they had a little bit of a drift demonstration, and then we had a passenger session as well, which I think is fantastic. So then people can take, you know, their friends and family or workshop mates for a bit of a drive as well, or maybe scare the pants off their girl or whatever it may be. But look, we ran ahead of schedule, even though we lost time. So most people are saying that it was probably too much track time, which is a good thing. Oh, look, I think if anybody decides to go on the track for the first time, look, they need to get some sort of advice and somebody that's generally better than them. You know, just don't, you know, speak to people on the internet or Facebook or whatever social media you think of. But you know, you need to get some sort of advice. People, you know, have this mindset or this concept of what a car can possibly do, but you know, then it can all turn pear-shaped very quickly. And we had a couple of minor spins today, and everybody behaved themselves. But you know, it was well organised, and we detailed the briefing, and everybody was under instructions. Whereas some people can go to track days and you don't have people around you to help you, and then they make a mistake and can turn very bad very quickly, and then they get deterred from the sport. And I love people, you know, doing this as a sport and as a hobby, and I want to see people doing it for a very long time. Oh, look, the plan is we want this to continue to grow, and so if there's a lot of people, you know, supporting this style event, and if there's a lot of, you know, good things said after the event, we're looking at doing it again next year, and hopefully there might be a 4-round series next year. So we're trying to get even more styles of events and more cars involved. So today was a classic example. It was booked out. We were pushing cars away, and hopefully we can do it again with everybody's support.
We'll be back after the break with more Nulon Nationals on Blendline TV. The second round of the Nulon Nationals saw the teams travel to Goulburn's Wakefield Park for a track day. Best lap time of the day was the goal, and with both the 86 and MX5 clubs being experienced in this style of event, they were looking to close the gap to the leaders. At the front, the HSV Owners Club, Skylines Australia and Evolution Oz were all out to battle hard, and as a result the teams were putting their best foot forward. Weather conditions were better than round one, meaning a lot more track time, and everyone benefited as a result. Eventually, Skylines Australia took the victory, with Steve Carr leading the team with the best time, 1 minute 2.728. That assisted them to close the gap to championship leaders Evolution Oz as everybody headed into round 3.
The Nulon Nationals, we got invited to this by Chris earlier on in the year. Sounded like a great thing to be a part of, and obviously the club jumped on it. Obviously I was made team captain, which was pretty dangerous, but obviously I nominated myself for a bit of fun. And yeah, the team we've got come together has been pretty good. We're half competitive, half out for a laugh, so it pretty much sums up SAU pretty well. We've got 7 here today. Everyone's here, everyone's running, that's a good start. We had some working all through the night to get the car going, so it's typical motorsport, what you expect. Basically my goal is to make the end of the day. Got a few issues, but who doesn't in a bloody modified Skyline? So yeah, basically if I make it to the end of the day, I'm happy. We've got a few out here, a few big hitters doing some decent times. Obviously Steve in the Power Tune 34, he's done a best of 60 seconds, obviously having to go faster. Brian's also out on a new suspension setup with more power, obviously having to go faster as well. The rest of the guys, we're just here to have a good time. It's quite a good club, and we do quite a lot of motorsport events as well as social stuff. We do tech nights, which is basically education on the cars we drive. Quite a lot of fun.
So I'm with the HSV for New South Wales club. Basically, a well-organised club, and they get together and do a lot of motorsport days. So basically, it was a good opportunity to compare yourself, I suppose, to other clubs, and operate as a team. Like team scores. So we worked out which were the best cars to field in certain events, because there's 3 different disciplines, and yeah, just to see where you stand amongst other clubs, basically. And any excuse to get to the track, of course. Yeah. Oh, you're always trying to do your personal best. Most guys come with a little bit of a tweak or a modification and hope that it'll make that difference. But, but you never know. There's so many things that play into the mix. Weather, track conditions, oil down around the track. It's fully street legal and registered, and doesn't get used on a daily basis. I have a car that I've used during the week instead of this, but Yeah, no, it is a nice car to drive on the street, and not a half bad track car at the same time. You know, it's like I quite often drive home and I lay the seat back, turn the stereo on, get a coffee, and I cruise past the guys in their little Toyota Hiluxes towing their cars and go, "Hey boys."
I'm here with the Ford team. Chris has asked me to put together a team which was originally from the Australian Ford forums. We put it out there. There wasn't a lot of response, but I do know a lot of people that have Fords. So I've just gone around to everybody I know via Facebook and personal people that I know, and we've managed to put a good team together with some high horsepower here today. But taking corners, on the other hand, is another problem. We've got 7 cars, ranging in power from let's say 180 kilowatts at the wheels to 616 kilowatts at the wheels, which is 820 horsepower. That's a car that's just been his first debut since he's had a lot of work done to it, and I haven't spoken to him since I've come off the track, but I hope he had a lot of fun out there. He should put on a good show today out at lunchtime. We're hoping to get him to fry up the whole straight. His number plate's can fry. The car can fry. It really can. I don't know a lot about Wakefield. I wasn't sure how it was going to be run. I've gone in blind, but I've been very busy trying to put everybody together. It's been great fun. We've had a lot of jokes along the way, and we had a car actually fail and last minute replace, but it wasn't a Ford. It was a good friend of mine who raced in the last round to replace a Ford. So we thought we'd get out here in Evo 8 MR. But unfortunately the drags on Sunday, he spat the clutch out, putting too much power to the ground. Putting all this together was just really exciting. I love racing, and I wanted to get away from drag racing, which is what I've been doing a lot of. It's not extremely fast on the quarter mile, but it's what I love doing. So getting out on a circuit, turning a corner, totally different kettle of fish. And it is, after this, I've just had so much fun out there the first round. We're all street cars, so no track cars on our team. Except John Boston. I forgot he was on my team. I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes out there. I've been luckily enough sponsored by a best friend of mine, Walter Markham from Oztech Performance. He's put a lot of power into an engine which has very few mods. It's a dark horse on the street. Everybody knows to stay away from it, so to speak. And I've had a lot of fun with it. As I said, for 6 years, a lot of testing and tuning and a lot of research and development. And Sinclair Ford at Penrith have noticed how much I've done to my car. They do a few just repairs on the car, just like factory repairs and stuff for me here and there. And they've decided to sponsor me for the weekend. They've got Sinclair Ford on the back window. So lots of friends there. Shout out to Sinclair Ford. They've been fantastic over the last 6 years looking after me, because Oztech Performance is not local to me. It's a good 3.5 hour drive from my house, but being my best friend, I get to stay for the weekend, I get to visit, we test, we tune, we have lots of fun.
We'll be back after the break with more Nulon Nationals on Blendline TV. It was a long drive to Cootamundra for the final round of the Nulon Nationals, yet to run unlimited speeds down a closed runway, it was well worth it. Skylines Australia were out for victory, with only 100 points separating them from the Evolution Oz crew. Unlimited runs on the day meant everyone could get as much racing in as they could handle. With solo passes in the morning and the possibility of grudge races in the afternoon, everyone was having a great time pushing their cars to the absolute limit. Eventually, the Skylines Australia team would secure what they sought, with Dominic Russo leading the field home with the first time overall of 10.69 from his R34 GTR. Another Skylines Australia driver, Ninos Tamo, would secure the top speed on the day with his 180 SX pumping out 155.7 miles per hour. That gave Skylines Australia the overall victory for the event, the first time running of the Nulon Nationals.
The MX5 Club is a very active club. I'm the membership database manager for the club. We have at the moment about 705 members in New South Wales. So we're a very big club. Around Australia, the MX5 Club's got about 1,500 members. We run a lot of different things. Track days, we do the best track day events and super sprint events. We're leading the current New South Wales Super Sprint Championship as a club. We do drive days. We've just had our Nat meet, which was up in Queensland. 180 people attended that. So it's a very active club. a huge cross-section of people from our youngest is 9, our eldest is, he won't say, but somewhere in his 80s. So we've got a very huge cross-section, and it's all the car. Everyone just wants the car. And surprisingly enough, they reckon they're a hairdresser's car until you get up around the bends in here, and there's a lot of cars that are astounded how quickly they go. So just good fun. The other thing with the club is the women get involved. You know, we went to the Nat meets, they let the guys, so a group of us drive up by ourselves, they flew up and then they got involved, and we've got a lot of women drivers. In fact, some of the fastest drivers in the MX5 Cups and that are women out of our club. So it's a huge cross-section. The event, look, it's good. You know, it's great that Nulon are doing this. We did a tech day at Nulon and they really did a good job for us. We had, I think it was 75 people attend the tech day, and they went out of their way, they showed everything to us, they showed the oils which you'll be using for all the different styles. For the MX5s, if you're driving, if you're racing or you're normal road driving, the oils you should use in your car. One of the guys came to our track days with his Evo and was astounded he couldn't beat many people, but he really enjoyed it. And you know, they're a really good company, and they tend to be getting focused more and more on the clubs and motorsport. And I've always used Nulon on this thing, and that gets really hammered on the track. There's no treating the thing nicely. 7,000 RPM, oops, the limiter, and the Nulon oil just looks after it, which is really good. So yeah, I'm really pleased, and I thank them for what they've done because they're doing a really good job. They'll probably talk to all the clubs, what do we do good, what can we do better or whatever. But you know, this is their first go at it and they're doing a really good job. You know, they've got a huge turnout. I missed the Bulladila run, and I'm glad because there was too many cops on the road and did silly things there, but yeah, it's a really good turnout. You know, last night the barbecue and a few beers and that, tonight will be a good night, as well as just going out here and banging as hard as you can.
So that wraps up all the action from the 3 rounds of the Nulon Nationals series here for 2014. I'm with the 2 winners from today's event, representing the club that actually won the overall event as well, Skylines Australia, Dominic and Ninos. You guys managed to bring it home with the club members. How does it feel to take out the first year of Nulon Nationals?
Oh mate, over the moon. Came in cold, pretty much first event for Nulon Nationals, and yeah, we just came in and just took it right out.
It's a good effort to bring the club through 3 rounds. You use your best cars each time. Coming into this, the airport sprint, it's all about power. What was your goal going in, Dominic? I know you guys were 100 points behind into this round. You needed to get in front. You guys made it happen.
Yeah, we did. That was our goal, to actually get up there, and we were feeling pretty confident. We had a couple of well-sorted cars. The whole team actually had some really good cars going into this event. So it made it a lot of fun. It was well organised, well done by Nulon, and we just had a ball.
I suppose the best thing about this event is it's 3 different styles throughout the time, which gives a lot of different clubs an opportunity to get up the front. Is that really what lured you guys into it, that you know you get to fight with so many good cars from different clubs? Yeah,
there was good 5 clubs or so, Mazda, Ford, Holden. Yeah, it was a good range of clubs. Yeah, really enjoyed the competition, the variety of cars, and yeah, so.
Well, it's great out there to see all of you guys competing really hard. What would you say to any clubs that want to get in on this competition? Because it's going to run again in 2015. We're going to have more rounds. What would be your incentive to get them out there?
Well, I think it's an absolutely awesome event, and it's really, I'd say to other clubs, get in on it. I find that having those different types of events and putting them all together makes it a lot of fun. Like all the different cars that you mentioned before adds to the appeal, and I reckon it's just something that's really good to get into.
Well, congratulations today on the 1-2, taking it out for today, and also the win for the club. There you have it, all the action from this, the first year of the 2014 Nulon Nationals event. We'll be back next year with all new rounds, new categories and new cars out there, so it's going to be really interesting to see. Thanks for watching this episode of Blendline TV. We look forward to your company next time.
about a foot. It was about a foot.
Yeah.